Well, hello, and welcome back once again to the Xennials podcast. You are here with Tora and Chris. We got a nice little episode here for you today. This is our restart episode. Basically, I guess this is the episode
after your breakups to makeups.
Yeah, what do you do after the breakups to makeups? This is the after. The what is it called? It's not, I guess it's, what is it called? It's not the prequel, because that's the before. So what is the after? It's that one. It's the after.
Or the epilogue?
I think we're going to put this one the sequel. Or it could be the epilogue.
I think it's the epilogue.
Either way it goes.
I think, I think in restarting, that's pretty much, it's
the
ending
epilogue.
that's ending that chapter, and you're starting over again in a whole different movie. Like, you moved on from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now you're going to star in a movie that no one wants to see you in, because they want to see you as Captain America and not anything else. So,
Tony Stark, stop playing with me. I'm telling you, stop playing with me, Robert Downey Jr. But anyway,
no one wants to see Robert Downey Jr. as anything else right now, other than
I don't want to see you in no other movie. If you are not Iron Man and putting on the suit, I ain't trying to. Anyway, listen, whole nother story.
Nobody wanted to see Tobey Maguire unless he was Spider-Man, and he came back. And, maybe he'll have a career after that, because Tobey been quiet for a couple of years.
You know what? Rumor has it that him and Andrew are trying to make a movie. They're going to be making another Spider-Man movie together. There's also rumor that he's in the Multiverse of Madness Doctor Strange movie. But again, all of that is rumor. Hearsay.
Would love to see it, even though I have not seen Spider-Man movie yet. I'd love to see it.
Man, I saw Spider-Man, and of all the hype that movie gets, it deserves every bit of it.
Okay.
It was, I don't like to go to the movies and pay money to watch the movies, but I'm willing to do that again. During the pandemic, damn it. I'm willing to sit there as long as I can sit at the top, 3 seats away from everybody else. I'm willing to sit there again. Because damn it, that movie was golden. That movie, all the hype. Anyway, that's, you know what? We'll talk about that another time.
Speaking of the movies, I'm just like, I'm that guy that sits back, very, very back center. I have to sit back center. Like, I do not feel comfortable in a movie theater unless I'm at the very, very back center seat.
I sit back. I have to be at the very back, but I can't sit center. I have to be on the edge. Because if I gotta pee, I need to be able to go and hurry up and come back so I don't miss nothing. So I have to be on the edge.
Right.
But yeah, I'm that top row.
Mm-hmm.
A in the back. It's top J. I'm in J.
Yeah.
I'm in J.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in B. Don't try to put strategically in the middle. Okay, this is where I can see the screen the best. No, J on the corner. That's it.
I like back center. Like, I have back center is the best spot for me. If it's anything else, it's not an enjoyable experience, and that's only because of my own, paranoias or whatever. But I have to be like back center. Like, if I'm not back center, if I'm sitting somewhere, I'm just like, I am uncomfortable, because I'm just I really don't like people sitting behind me. Like, that is one of those fears of mine. People sitting behind me, like, I don't trust people, so we don't do.
You know what? That should be a whole podcast, because they got me thinking, like, I really cannot sit with my back to the door. I cannot sit with my back to the door. Like, no. I have to see what's coming at me. I can't sit with my back to the door.
I can't do that either. Like, I cannot sit. If I sit in a room, I'm always in the back of the room. Number one, I'm always in the back of the room, and I have to visualize the door and the windows. I have to have a 360 panoramic view of the room.
Yeah.
If I do not have a 360-degree panoramic view of the room, that's a problem.
That's understandable. I get it.
That is a problem for me. Like, my internal anxieties will go up I'm at 100. I might not say nothing, but I'm at 100 because now I'm just like, yeah, no. I think that's half the reason why I don't like going to different places. Like, I don't like going to malls. Well, I'll take that back. I'll go to the mall, but I'm not a fan of being in there longer than I have to be. And Lord help me if I go to Walmart. I got to get in and out of Walmart real fast.
Honestly, I haven't been to Walmart in months and months and months. Walmart to me is a time warp. It is a black hole, if you will. It's like I can go in there for 2 items. I can go in there at 3:00, get those 2 items, but by the time I come out, it is now 9:45, and I can't understand how the hell that happened. I was here for 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes. But anyway,
I literally went to Walmart last week, and every time I step into any Walmart now, they're all changed. Everything's changed. I went to 2 different Walmarts in 3 weeks, and those 2 Walmarts have been staples since I've been in this area of Texas. And yeah, I went in there and I was like, this is not Walmart. What is this? What is this? What? Yeah, it was wild. I was like, okay, Walmart. Y'all just decided during the pandemic, y'all was either going to shrink y'all store or I don't know what the hell y'all just did in here, but okay, I'm just here for some dog food. So, all right, let me go get the dog food. I'm coming right back out.
I'm just saying it was kind of convenient that the pandemic happened and they all of a sudden changed their hours. They ain't 24 hours anymore. Now they close at a certain. Anyway,
not even talking about Walmart and their hours. And
you know what? Again, that's a whole other show.
Lovely to go into Walmart at 1:00 in the morning with nobody there but you and people.
Man,
can get in, get out, get everything you need, and be done with it. Nope, not anymore. Now I gotta stand in line just at the self checkout. Not at the checkout counter, at the self-checkout. I got to stand in line. That's some bull. Anyway, we're not even talking about that. We're talking about restarting after relationships, friendships, all of them ships. We talking about restarting after ships.
After the ship has sailed?
After the ship has gone. After the ship has sunk. After the ship has sailed. After the ship just got swept up by a tornado, hit an iceberg, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about.
After the ship was told to be Titanic, but now it's actually the Olympic. Being that it's the Olympic, that's because it has insurance on it. But we ain't gonna talk about J.P. Morgan. We're gonna say that for the conspiracy theory episode.
So
but anyway,
it's so funny that you mentioned that because there was a YouTube video I just watched yesterday, and we're just talking about. It was just literally talking about that. And I was like, yeah, I've heard this, and yeah, that's most interesting.
I'm just
hey
saying,
guys, but that was coming up in a conspiracy theory episode that's coming out real soon. So stay tuned for that one. We'll talk more about JP Morgan and all of that good stuff. That conspiracy theory there. But yeah, today we are talking about what happens at the end, what happens next, and the aftermath of all of it. Because things change you, situations change you, relationships change you, friendships change, ships change you. Okay.
Yeah.
The Titanic changed that lady that survived the Titanic.
Rose.
Only to be on another ship that got sunk too, like 2 months later, and changed her. I don't even think she ever got on another boat ever again. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Some of y'all will probably remember this story. But this lady literally got saved from the Titanic, only to get on another ship that sunk again a couple of months later, only to get on another ship again that got torpedoed. I think it got torpedoed. No,
you know what? At this point, I'm at the house.
By the time she got to the third ship, it was over for her. She was just like, "I'm not getting on another ship."
At this point, I'm at the house.
At the crib.
I'm at the house. If I can't walk there, then I don't need to go.
But it's funny because that's like real life relationships. Like at some point, you just at the house. Like, I'm not doing this no more. And that's how you feel when you get to the end of the line of the ship that just hit that iceberg. You're just like, I'm not good. Straight.
So, but that I think that's leads us to a good question. The end. You at the end of the line, but how do you know when the end is the end? Because there's been times where couples have broke up and got back together. So how you know when the relationship, when it's okay to let me see if this will work a little bit again. Let me try, see if this happens.
That's a unique question because there are some people that's like, okay, we didn't hit a reef in the ocean. We didn't hit a reef and we just scraped up the bottom of the boat. And, the boat is listing a little bit, so maybe we need to abandon ship right now before it sinks. And then the ship don't sink. So now the ship is just sitting out there. And eventually you get back, you get your boat back and you're just like, what? Let's try this again. Let's see if we can do this again. Then you hit that iceberg. I don't know. That's a good question. Like, yeah. I don't. I think I said that.
Different
I may
strokes,
have said
different
this.
Folks.
Yeah, I think I said this somewhat in the breakup to makeups episode in the archives now. Just check that one out. I was real raw. Sometimes you just don't know when it's over until you have that AC/DC moment. And, in that particular relationship that I talked about on that episode, that AC/DC moment was when I was about that close to losing my life. So that's when I knew it was a wrap. Like, I had to put a nice little bow on this and keep it moving if I wanted to survive, or if I wanted to live. Or if I didn't want to end up in jail. So I don't know.
It kind of sucks that it took you almost lose your life to be like, you know what? Maybe this ain't gonna work. Maybe this isn't gonna work out for me. Maybe this is a no-go.
Here's
a non-starter,
since we talking about ships, and we talked about the Titanic. I was that guy in the crow's nest, and I saw the iceberg. I saw it. And I yelled down to the captain, "Hey, iceberg ahead!" And the captain was like, "Okay, let's turn the boat in the direction to get away from the iceberg." And I thought that's what we were doing. I thought we would turn it away from the iceberg. And then all of a sudden, we just hit it, just boom.
Yeah, that turn wasn't sharp enough.
That turn wasn't quick enough. And then now all of a sudden, I'm standing in that closet. Look, my light flashed before my eyes. And alcohol is in my face, and I'm about to get burned up like Pepsi did Michael. And now I'm sitting there like, okay, that's it. That's all. Thank you for coming. God bless you and good night.
In my own personal opinion, I think it's okay to give the relationship another try when you both have taken accountability to whatever the situation was that made y'all break up, and you both acknowledge and recognize when you did wrong and what you did wrong, and you're both willing to do it. It's one thing if you both do all of that and I'm willing and he's not, then
that ain't gonna work.
That ain't gonna work. But if you're both willing to try it again, that's one thing. But once you get there, you already know what the signs are. So as soon as you see that one red flag, go ahead and chop it up. It's a wrap. Go ahead and wrap that up.
I say that a lot about relationships that I see people in right now. It's like you see the flags. The flags are not even at half staff. They flying high. You see the flags. Run. If you got nothing left to give, and you've given all that you've given, all of yourself, you've poured every bit of what you could into the relationship, and it's still not moving anywhere, or it's still not functioning the way that you'd like it to, you got to make hard choices in life. I mean, life is full of hard choices. You got to make that hard choice. You got to make that hard decision. You got to sit back and like I just said to a friend of mine a couple of days ago, you have to make sure you take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself, because no one else is going to take care of you but you. You got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of your mental health. Those two things are very, very important in life. And if you can come out of relationships damaged and don't even know it. You can come out of relationship. Your little boat can be damaged and you not even know it until you get back get back out there in the ocean, the middle of the ocean, and next thing you know, your GPS is off, or your rudders is stuck somewhere because it was damaged in a storm, but you didn't realize it was damaged. And I think we make that mistake. I know personally I made that mistake. I know for a fact that there were some damages done in previous relationships that carried over to new relationships that didn't necessarily destroy the relationship, but it played a very big part in the relationship not working. And I'm now at that point where you got to sit back and work on self and fix my rudders and fix my GPS and fix my stern and fix a couple portholes here and there, make sure I'm back to 100% before I even attempt to try to do something else, because it's going to carry over again and again, and it's not fair to the other person that you're involved with. And it's not fair to you, because there's consequences for every action. So if you bring in things into the relationship that's messed up, you just heaping on more damage than you should. Take care of yourself. Make sure yourself is good. Make sure your mental health is good. Make sure you're ready to get back into something before you get back into something. But you have to heal from the damage. You have to work on the damage that's been done. Make sure you do that before you jump into anything else. That's what I got.
Well, see, you know what? I think you brought up a really good point. Red flags. That is how you know when the relationship is done. Red flags. When you see a red flag, oh, it's a wrap. Which, I mean, to me, that says that
it needs to be a wrap. I don't think a lot of people wrap it up, but it needs to be.
Nah, they got to see it for you. Honestly, I think that's kind of in human nature, because you second guess yourself.
Right.
Like, well, yes. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
second guessing yourself in relationships can be dangerous.
Yeah, it can. Especially, I was actually talking to a friend who was talking to another friend, and they were having a conversation, and the other friend of hers felt like her man was cheating. And that friend told her, hey, you know what the red flags look like? I mean, you already know what this is about. You already know, you've already seen it. You know what they look like. If they flying high in your front yard, what are you questioning? Now, at that point, it's on you. Right. However you choose to handle that situation, it's on you. But if you see a red flag, that's how you know the relationship is completely done.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't know. How do you end the relationship? Now that you've seen the red flag, ain't no going back. You said what you said. You did what you did. It is what it is. And now, how are we ending this? Are you still? Let's end it on a. Me, okay. I used to be like, hey, I'm gonna end it on a cool note. We're gonna still be cool. We can still be friends. But as I got older, I realized that really doesn't work out. Being friends with your exes, some of them, I'm not even gonna lie. My very first boyfriend, I am still friends with him till this day. He's married with kids, but I am still friends with him to this day. Now, my high school sweetheart, we don't have no beef, but we not friends. So how do you end a relationship? Because I'm liable to ghost your ass, but I know that's not really proper etiquette. But sometimes I'm just like, if I'm done, I'm done. I'm done. Like, there's nothing else for us to talk about. I'm finished.
I honestly don't
So
know if there's a right or wrong way to end it. Like, I'm with you. We are exactly the same in that thought process. I started out saying, okay, all of my exes, I want to be friends with. The one that ended up being on a whole episode of this podcast, we are not friends. Matter
as you
of fact,
shouldn't be.
we have
As
not,
you should not
we
be
have not
friends.
talked in over a decade.
Not exactly sure why she's not under the jail, but go on.
Have not talked to her in about a decade plus, actually, about a decade plus now. And that was when I realized that I can't. Deborah Cox and Ariel had it right. We can't be friends. And it's not because I'm still in love with you. We just can't be friends anymore. Like, I don't want to see you. Don't want to be around you. I really got nothing for you. A long time ago, I learned something from someone that's very special that I hold near and dear to me. And one of the things she taught me was that, great relationships start out with great foundations of friendship, which is, I still believe to this day, is absolutely correct. You got to be friends with somebody in order for you to at the very least, like somebody. I mean, you can be infatuated with somebody all day, but if you're trying to pursue relationships with somebody, be friends first. And then that person, can even become your best friend. And then that person just becomes, your person. But as I've gotten older now, no, I don't want to be friends. Like, I don't.
It doesn't really work like that.
You good? I'm good.
Yeah.
Have a great life. If we run across each other, hey, how you doing? If I see you post something on social media that I think is interesting, I give you a thumbs up or I give you whatever, and we keep it moving. But we can't be friends. It just no. I don't want to have any. No.
My thing, it's hard for me to try to be friends with a person, especially after the breakup was their fault and they're not taking responsibility for what they did. I am so big on closure that it tends to hinder me a little bit. I want some closure. Man. I want you to take responsibility for the effed up stuff you did and said. I would like to have that peace, but I'm coming into realizing that sometimes you gotta just accept the apology that you're never given and keep it moving.
I used to want closure. Like, I used to want closure in friendships, relationships, that went sour, whatever. I used to want closure. Like, I wanted you to tell me where it went wrong in your mind. In your mind, tell me how this went wrong, and hey, I can sit back and say, okay, I apologize, have a great life. Now I'm with you on the whole ghosting mode. I would just disappear. I will pull a Homer in the shrubs on you and all. And that's just how it is. Like, I don't mean to be rude. Wow. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but it's just like, we good. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to apologize. I don't want you to tell me what went wrong. I can self-analyze, overthink it for days at a time. I'm good now. Like, okay, it didn't work. There we go.
I was like that, where I wanted to have closure and peace, and I wanted to know. And I was always like, hey, well, if you tell me I can do better and be better for the next person. Up until 2014, when my dude broke up with me and didn't give me closure. I have no idea what went wrong. Like, literally, we were tee-head and laughing and hugged up, and 10 minutes later he broke up with me and left. And I have no idea what went wrong. And it took me 3 years to figure out and realize that it is what it is. It is what it is, and I just gotta let that go.
Yeah, like you get to that point where it is what it is. It is what it is. What it is.
If the relationship falls apart on my end, I do try to take responsibility for it and accountability. And I am one of those people who offers closure. I offer you the closure. And I actually met up with someone over the winter break, and we've known of each other for over a decade. And I was like, yo, do you want to know the situation? Do you need closure? And that person was like, no, I'm actually good. Okay, cool. If you're good, we don't even have to discuss nothing ever again. I just want to make sure that if there was something you needed closure on, that if I can provide you information, I will give you that information. They were like, no, I'm good. And I thought, okay, cool. But I know that I'm one of those people who will offer the closure because I know what it's like to just not have that available. And like I said, for 3 years, it ate me up. And for what? And for what?
Nothing.
Exactly. So
absolutely, positively nothing, because that person moved on, and at some point, you got to move on.
Yeah,
and
I have to move around and
hey. That was I think that was one of the hard lessons I learned too, is that, when somebody moves on and they move on without you or don't give you that closure, and they just move on, there's nothing you can do. Like, absolutely, positively, 100%, nothing you can do, because that person's moved on and they don't care to give you any closure or anything.
And not even 9 times out of 10, but every now and then there's a possibility that while you're sitting there thinking, okay, well, I just want the closure, and this, they've already started moving on while they were still with you.
Yeah,
they already started going and doing. I can attest to this. I
can too.
I was once engaged, and in December he actually broke up with me, but I was done in May. I checked out officially in October. I had already moved on in October.
Like you
I had officially checked out.
Yeah, you checked out.
I mentally, emotionally, physically I was gone in October. Basically, we roommates, my guy.
Right.
But I was done in May. But it wasn't until December that it was completely broken apart officially. But in May, shoot, I was done. In October, I was single as far as I was concerned.
I can attest to the checking out part. And I didn't realize I had checked out until I sat back one day and was like, I've literally checked out.
Oh, I knew I was checking out. I was fighting the checkout because I really was trying to make shit happen, trying to make it work. I was fighting the checkout. So when checkout time came, I knew I was already gone.
Right, like it was 10:59 for me, and I was just like, no, I don't want to check out. 11 o'clock hit, and I checked out. But I done checked out. The room has been cleaned and everything.
I was already
been remade and everything.
I was out of there.
Gone.
So now that you've checked out, you've done, it's over. What's the next chapter? How do we start after a heartbreak? Because whether you broke up with that person or that person broke up with you, there's always a little piece that hurts. Depending on who does what, it's always still a little piece. Like for me, I can say that because it's kind of like, dang, I failed at another one. Whether it was because he broke up with me or I broke up with him, it's still like, damn, I still failed at something else. I failed at another one. So how do you restart after a heartbreak? Personal time, self-love and self-care.
There you go. I'm glad
PTO, prepare the others, because I'm not coming in.
There you go. Ooh, flashbacks, man, flashbacks. You know what? I really don't have an answer to that, because here's what happened for me. Like, a lot of my heartbreak got written down. That's how I worked my way through a lot of heartbreak. Like I wrote a lot of stuff down. I had spirals full of just notes of just me writing everything out and just pouring myself into it just to get it out of me. And then it still took a minute to get past the heartbreak because, one particular instance, I was literally heartbroken because it was like, what did I do to make this situation the way it is right now? What did I do to make you, go out and cheat? What did I do? And it took me 2 years to get over that because it was just like, and I was afraid. I am saying this now as a grown man. This happened to me when I was like 17, 18. I literally was afraid to even engage with anybody after that. Like I did not want to be close to anybody after that because it was like I couldn't figure out what I did wrong. And so eventually I wound up talking to somebody and they were like, it's not your fault. That resonated. I don't know why at that particular point it resonated, but it resonated with me. And I was sitting on their couch in their living room, just chilling, having a couple of beers or whatever. And they were like, it's not your fault. You can't beat yourself up because it's not your fault. You didn't make the decision to do that. That person made the decision to do that. You didn't. And that clicked. And after that, it was just like, okay, I'm going to do my best to, kind of turn the page, refresh myself a little bit and, go about trying to, engage with people again, pretty much. And that's how that worked out.
So I think that you brought up something good, something valuable, a little gem there. The way you got through stuff, you started writing it down. Everybody has their own way, self-expression or way of venting. Some people write stuff. Some people like to go to one of those, I don't know what it's called, those rooms where you can beat up some shit, You beat down.
This day want to go to one of those.
Who?
There's one here in Texas that you.
I know. I think there's like two. I think one is in like McKinney or something. Anyway, right. But you know what I'm talking about.
Right. I want to go there.
I do too. I just don't want I really need to make sure I have on some goggles because I just don't want nothing.
Oh no, yeah, no. They provide goggles and a bunny suit.
Oh yeah, I will. I'm all for that.
They provide goggles and a bunny suit, and you got an hour. Do as much damage as you like.
I'm all for that. That sounds awesome. Anyway, sorry, but yeah, that's just taking time for yourself. I think is really a good way to not necessarily get over the heartbreak, but at least push through it.
Yeah, no doubt. That definitely is, and I mean it helped a lot, especially getting it out of my system, but. The conversation I had with that particular individual was the one that just the lights went on and yeah.
So how long should you wait to start dating?
But to answer your question, I don't know.
How long should you wait? Listen, different strokes for different folks. Some relationship is too deep and you done put in time, you done put in years, man. Sometimes you just don't want to jump right back into something. And sometimes you just like, I checked out a long time ago anyway, so let me just go ahead and do what I do. So, yeah, I think it's just
like
different strokes for different folks.
That one, yeah. Like if you'd have checked out a long time ago and y'all just roommates at that point.
Yeah.
You checked out roommates.
Yeah.
Well, if you checked out and you checked out at the very, very end of it, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that one.
You should wait to date when you're feeling completely available, not when you are lonely. If you're lonely, you're just gonna take whatever comes, and that's a horrible thing to go.
That's like going to
that
the grocery store when you're hungry.
Yeah, exactly. You just picking up shit. Next thing you know, you done bought some goddamn wheat bread with some gluten-free, no fat, no lactose intolerant. What the hell did I purchase?
Some shit you don't even eat.
Some stuff I don't eat. Something
now you got all this stuff at the house you don't eat. Now you got to go spend more money on some stuff you do eat.
Exactly. Which is why you should not go shopping when you're hungry. And also you should not look
Date
for
people when you're lonely.
Date people when you're lonely or thirsty or hungry or whatever.
All of that. Ladies and
all
gentlemen, that was a public service announcement from the Xennials. Please do not go to the grocery store when you're hungry. Do not go to the grocery store when you're hungry. Just saying.
So how do you not carry baggage from one relationship to another? How is that possible? Because, and I'm only speaking on my own personal experiences. Is it possible? Because if I was in this relationship and it went bad, it went sour, and I get into my next relationship, if I see some red flags from my past relationship, I'm going to be like, hold on and wait a minute. So I'm not sure if would that be considered baggage? Or would that just be considered, hey, I learned my lesson that time?
That question, now that one, I totally agree with. But, could be wrong at the same time, because is that considered baggage if I can see red flags coming a mile away?
I don't think so. I think that's you got what you needed from that relationship, and you learned the lesson that you need to learn to prepare you for the next relationship. Now, if you always out here calling every 10 minutes, well, where you at? I thought you was going to be here 5 minutes ago. What's going on? Is you with a girl? If you're always calling and accusing and picking a fight, bringing up shit, I had a dream about you cheating on me, and now you're watching them. Hold on, that might be a little bit of baggage from the last relationship, because that's a little crazy. That's a little much.
You don't need to be in a relationship at that point. There's no need for you to be in a relationship at that point. True. At that point, you no longer need to be in a relationship. You need to be by yourself.
Agreed. True.
You need to be by yourself until you can find yourself.
And you know what? I think a lot of people, some people, not even a lot, because a lot of people are really discovering themselves at this point in time in life. But I think some people really have a hard time being by themselves. And
oh yeah, no doubt. Oh, no
there's
doubt.
People who insist that they have to have, I'm just talking from a female perspective, what I've seen. You gotta have a man, because you're not nobody if you don't have no man. You got to have one. And it's like, hey sis, have you ever loved on you by yourself? Like, that's kind of a testament. Do you not like to be with you? Right. And if you don't like to be with you, how you expect somebody else to like to be with you? So
preach it.
Just a thought. Just a little thought. So after a relationship is broken up and you're attempting to move on, when should you seek professional help? Like, it's just not working. You can't stop thinking about this person. You're crying every time you think about them. A song will come on and you cry. A commercial will come on and you cry. You hear their name and you cry. Is that the time where you start to seek some professional help?
Hell yeah. How
about this?
You're going to need help at that point. Because, I mean, at that point, you are, it is basically broken you. It's broken you.
Okay, but that happens a lot. And some people can dig their way out of it. How long is there a time limit? And if there is, how long should it take for you to dig yourself out of this, I don't want to say depression, but out of this sunken, dark space?
As long as it takes you to dig your way out. Because sometimes
Okay, but
sometimes that hole
while
is
you're
so sometimes that hole is so deep, it takes you a while to get back to the top because you dug that hole so deep and so far because you put so much into this relationship and there's so many things that happen, good or bad. You're wrestling with these memories and you don't know how to process them. It may take a minute. It may take a couple of years. It may take a couple of months. You know, some people can get over it in a couple of months. Like, okay, I'm moving on in life. You know, cool. Some people it takes a couple of years because I mean it's just that much. It just all depends on how that relationship was. There can be so much damage or so much baggage left over from that relationship that it takes you that long to get to where you want to be again. And I also think people don't really take that into consideration. Like sometimes you just need to breathe, but you need to breathe longer than 2 months.
Yeah.
You may need to breathe for 6 to 8 months. You may need to breathe for a year because you've been breathing in this air for so long that you got to get that out of your system. And you can't get it out of your system if you already jumped into bed with somebody else, because now it's still in your system, but now you got some more shit in your system.
That is true.
New shit in your system. So now you got the new shit in your system, the old shit in your system. Now your transmission is bad. So then what happens? Now you got to sit back and hope and pray that the transmission don't go out. Yeah. That's me.
So here's the thing. And I'm just going to go on ahead and say this. Especially when it comes to the Black community. For so long, we've had a stigma on help and seeking out therapists or psychiatrists or whatever it is that you need help with, because especially I can attest for Black women, being that you have the strong Black woman syndrome or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's really called, but everybody, you have an idea that, well, I'm supposed to be this strong Black woman, so I need to suck this up and I need to handle it. But sometimes you do need help. Or the older generation has this pray it away syndrome. Just pray it away. Pray to God. Just say some prayers. That's all fine and dandy, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with having Jesus and a therapist. Nothing at all.
I was just talking to somebody about this 2 days ago. Jesus ain't put people down here that can help you if he didn't know what he was doing. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
People are here to help. And you should start seeking, if you find yourself in a dark space, you don't really enjoy the things that you used to enjoy, you can't stop crying, you don't want to go out and be social, you're not the same person and you know it, that's when you need to go ahead. It's nothing wrong with that. Just look for some help. Look for some help. There are some people can pray it away. Some people can dig themselves out of that hole. And sometimes you just need help. And if you need help, there's nothing wrong with asking for help. Ask for help if you need it. There's nothing wrong. There's no shame to come with that. And that's talking on a personal level. Because my therapist knows if I could pay for him every week, I talk to him every week. But my therapist, that man is a monster and I love him. He's amazing. So therapy, sometimes you just need to talk to a friend like Chris, like you did. And again, sometimes you need professional help. And if you feel like you need professional help, maybe you also need to try some medications, whatever you need. I surely hope and pray that no relationship will ever put you in that kind of spot. But if you ever are, there's no shame in getting yourself help. I think one of the hardest things to do after being in a relationship and having it go south is putting yourself out there and learning to trust another person again. That's one of the things that
Amen
can keep you from being in a whole nother relationship. Hell, finding new friends, dealing with new people. You don't want no new friends. You don't want to deal with nothing new. Having trust in somebody, especially when you trusted this person, be it a friend or a lover or whatever. You trusted that person with your secrets and everything you had and everything, and the next thing you know, your business all over Facebook. Damn shame.
Damn shame.
You don't want to trust nobody after that. So learning how to trust is I think it's difficult. I don't think that, for me, I can trust a person until you give me something to not trust, but I will never trust a person fully as I trusted that last person who hurt me. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I'm not going to give you everything that I gave the last person, because I'm not with that person anymore, and I'm not fixing to take a chance on the next. That sounds fucked up, but that's kind of how it is with me. So, how did you learn to trust?
It takes a lot for me to trust somebody. I mean, you know that very well. I'm not one of those people trust people. Too many situations I've been in life has taught me, about letting myself trust people. So, to answer that question, man, it takes a lot for me to get there. It takes a couple of years, really, for me to really, really trust you. I'm gonna go on record as saying it probably takes about 1 to 2 years. and you really got to earn it at that point. But it takes about 1 to 2 years. Just being honest. I mean, I learned to trust somebody by just watching their actions, conversations with them, seeing where conversations go, seeing if I hear same conversation come up again, things of that nature. But it takes a lot for me to trust somebody, especially after everything I've been through in life in general, not just relationships, but friendships, acquaintanceships. I know that's not a word, but situations like that takes a lot.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, like I said, I'm one of those that can trust you until you give me something to not trust, but I'm not giving you all of me. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes perfectly good sense, because I mean, it's something that I do too. Like, I did not give all of myself to the next relationship that I had after the one we talked about in the podcast. Like, I didn't give all of myself, because it was like I was hurt from the prior relationship after I gave it everything I possibly could, gave it all my love, my secrets, my life. And I'm coming into this next relationship like, I don't know if I want to do that right now. Well, I don't know if I want to do that, period, because I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I can trust you like that. I don't know if I can trust anybody like that. Wasn't helpful in that relationship. Was not at all helpful. But coming out of that, I did learn that lesson. But it didn't help then, so it's a slippery slope. But again, I'm right there with you. Like, I'm not going to give you everything, because I gave this person everything and this person betrayed me to the hilt, and it's not very good for a relationship, but it is what it is, because you at this point are in guard your heart mode, guard your heart mode, where you are literally guarding your heart. Like, I don't want to get hurt again, so I'm not going to give you everything again. No siree. No.
See, now, I can totally agree, of course. One of the things that you've already mentioned that I'll just reiterate, it is so important for you to love on yourself and have a nice little self-love with yourself, because sometimes people get into relationships and tolerate being treated badly because they don't treat themselves good, so they're not expecting anyone else to treat them good either. So definitely you should definitely have some self-love and self-worth, and by all means think about who you're dealing with. If you know this person, you've gotten out of a relationship and you go into a relationship with another person, and you know that other person ain't treated you or didn't treat their last one so good, I ain't gonna say they did. They gonna do you the same. I'm just gonna say watch it a little bit. Be a little careful. And if you have self-love and self-worth, you ain't gonna take the shit anyway. You're not gonna be about that life. You're gonna be you're not doing me the way I want me to be done. Gotta go. Hasta luego. See you later. But anyway, yes, definitely have some self-love. Self-love for yourself. It's important.
Very, very important.
So with that being said, I guess we're calling it a quit on this episode.
That is it. That is our trilogy on relationships, friendships. Woo!
I don't know why one of us don't have no dang relationship coach degree or diploma, certification, or whatever it is. We done been through some stuff. We can tell you about some stuff. But you know what? At this, I don't. That's how I see life. I don't know anybody who's had an easy life, and I don't know nobody who ain't been through some shit. So, I guess everybody. It's nice to just come together and have someone who can relate to what you're going through.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And I mean, we definitely can relate. We definitely can. Yeah, definitely. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
We really appreciate it.
Hope you enjoyed our restart episode.
And I hope that anyone out there is listening. Hope this helps. Hope we said some things that may turn the light on for you. Help you see it a little bit differently. The last thing I personally definitely want to leave you with: do not forget to love and take care of yourself. Because you only got one.
Absolutely.
You only got one you. Only got one you. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Take care of yourself. All right. That being said, you can catch us on all social media platforms at the Xennials Pod. You can catch us on YouTube. Got a YouTube channel now, y'all. We're on YouTube at the Xennials Podcast. It has all of our season 1 episodes up, and season 2 as we record them and post them. They come out the same day as they are coming out on the podcast platforms. They will be coming out on the YouTube platforms. We have playlists this year for each and every one of our episodes. This episode is the restart episode. We have a playlist for that, and it is available on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube Music. Check us out. All right. With that being said, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
Yeah, thank you.